Hey everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look and reviewing the JUBTIC Budget Planner, which is a 12-month undated budget planner. I'm really excited to take a look at this. I was sent this planner for free, but I am not being paid to post this video, and as always, all opinions are my own. So JUBTIC is a brand within Amazon storefront. They make a bunch of different planner and planner related products, including undated weekly planners, baby books, make your own recipe books, address books, a bunch of different things like this. And one of the things that they offered was the budget planner. So this brand reached out and let me pick something out from their shop to review. So this is what I picked out. I picked the undated budget planner for a couple of reasons. One, I just thought it looked like a really interesting and cool product that I wanted to take a look at. Two, I thought a lot of you might really find it interesting as well. And three, I thought this was something that would really fit very nicely into an already existing and established planner lineup. So even if you already have a planner system that you're loving, but you want to take a closer look at your finances, this could be a really helpful tool to do that. So I thought that that would be really fun to take a look at. It is an A5 sized hardbound book. It's got like a chipboard cover with a vegan leather, like a chipboard and vegan leather cover on it. This one is in their pink color, which is honestly a little bit closer to like a salmon or a coral color. It's really, really pretty though. I really love the color of this cover. And they do have like 5 to 10 different color covers depending on which exact product that you're looking at. Most of their stuff is in this hardbound little line like this. These are very slim A5 size books, but they do have a couple of Wire O bound products as well that you can check out. So I will link their Amazon storefront below. This particular product is around $10. Most of the stuff in their store is somewhere between $10 and $15, just depending on what it is. So it's a very, very affordable line. And yeah, I cannot wait to jump in. I couldn't find any information about like the paper quality or anything like that on there, but it is a really cool layout that I think will be really useful to a lot of people tracking finances. But I also did just want to mention, I actually use a digital planning tool called mint.com for my financial tracking and budgeting. For me, that works really, really well right now. But I know a lot of people really like to do everything on paper, to do paper planning for their budgeting. And especially if that's something that's really a focus area in your life, then I think going with a paper planner for that is a really great idea. Just because when we write things down, we tend to remember them better. We tend to be thinking about them more. It's one of the things I love about paper planning in general. So if you're really focused on your finances and on your budgeting right now, I do think that a paper budgeting planner, something like this, would make a really great addition to your planner lineup. So let's dive in and take a look. So it did just come like any other Amazon package. It was wrapped in a clear plastic wrap to protect the cover, which I've taken off, and it just has this little slip of paper around the outside that has some information about it. It says undated monthly budget planner, and then it's got like all of the different elements of the planner included on. So it does have an elastic closure as well as a pen loop and then 2 bookmarks. So like pretty standard bullet journal features there that are really handy. And the one ribbon matches the cover pretty much perfectly. And the other one is just a little bit lighter. Again, just like a really pretty coral color. And as well, it is stitched binding. The book does lay pretty flat. You do have to train it a little, but it lays really nicely. So that is another plus. Again, you just have to train it a bit, but I tested some of the pages at the beginning and the front, and it lays fairly flat, which is nice. When you open it up, it opens to a blank page. Then it's got the cover page with the brand, and then like a place to put your information if you are going to be bringing this out and about. I never fill that stuff out. It's also got a spot to list a reward if someone finds this, which I just found really funny. But you know, you could just fill this out or not. And then you get to the start of the planner, which starts with a goal setting section. So it has space for you to write 10 financial goals. All of this stuff is targeted around like finances and budgeting, but it does have space to list out 10 different financial goals. There's no like directions or anything that says like what kinds of goals to set or how to pick them or anything like that, but it does have space to put them. And then it's got a section for a mind map, which is just a plain dot grid paper. The dot grid is a standard bullet journal 5mm. All of the print text in here is in like a medium gray color. The print quality and the paper feel really nice, especially considering this was a $10 planner. So I do think that this is a very, very good value option. We will do a full pen test. I have not done that yet to take a look. But anyway, then you get into a strategy and tactics section, which has space to lift out new skills I need to achieve my financial goals, my belief and purpose of earning money, actions I will take to earn more money, and actions I will take to cut my expenses. And then you get into like the regular part of the planner. So just like a little goals and strategy section, and then you get into the planner. So there are 12 months sections in here. It is undated, so you could start it at any time, but all of the sections do just repeat again for each of the month. And then there's some additional pages at the back, which we'll take a look at. So it says month and year, opening balance, and then up at the top, you've got some lists up here. So you have this month's goals, to-do list, income and amount, savings and amount. So I'm guessing that this is, you could like list out your like income sources and list out your like your accounts and then put the amounts in there. And then I would maybe put like my total balance up at the top, just of whatever accounts it is you're tracking. And then on the bottom here, it has a calendar printed. So it's just like a really nice overview, and then has a little note section. Again, it's undated, it's Sunday start. So you can just date it, and then you could use this to like put your bills in, put your paydays, all different things like that. Oh, I totally forgot to mention the planner did come with two sheets of stickers that were tucked inside of it, all financially driven stuff. One with gold foil. It's a very hot gold. I think like more similar to what you would find in like a Recollections or Happy Planner book than like from a specialty sticker shop, but just a kind of like rainbow ombre vibes and gold foil. And then this unfoiled sheet as well. Again, all different financially minded stickers. So after the monthly overview page, you get a page for your budget. It's got some items put in, and then plenty of extra space to add in different things. So you have a housing section, food, health, transportation, personal, loans, entertainment, and others. For you to make a total thing, you can put in your budget amount and your actual amount. So what I will say about this is that it does have plenty of extra space, and you can obviously white out and change any categories that you can add. And I think it's difficult to find like the good mix here, because on the one hand, everybody's expenses and budgets are different, and the things that you might want to track are different. But on the other hand, if you put nothing, then like people might not know what to put in a certain category. Like if you just saw personal and it was blank, I might not know what to put in that category, especially if you're new to budgeting. So it's helpful for me to see things like clothing, personal care, sports and gym. That being said, none of those are items, like, so I guess personal care if you're counting like nail salon and stuff. If I were making a budget, none of those are items that I need to make a monthly budget for. I don't buy clothes every month, don't have a gym membership. So, you know, it's just different for everyone. And likewise, like under housing here, it says mortgage instead of mortgage and rent, but a lot of people rent, and that might not bother you, even like it wouldn't bother me even if we were renters, and we were renters for a really long time, to call it mortgage instead of rent. Like I mentally know that that's different, but I do know that that would also bother a lot of people. Again, you can always white out and customize. There's extra sheets there, but I do think that it's really hard to find the balance there. This planner has done a pretty nice job. There's not like too much in each categories. There's like a couple of ones that I maybe personally would have eliminated, but I think it just depends. On the plus side, there is plenty of extra space to put in any category and get as detailed as you want. There's really a lot of space there, so that's really helpful. And then you get 3 pages of expense trackers. So 3 full pages where you could go out and individually list all of your expenses. Now, this is a really helpful tool, and you know, if you want to keep track of all of your expenses, you can categorize them according to your budget. But this is really the primary reason that I prefer digital planning over paper planning, specifically for budget tracking. I just find that having my credit card transactions automatically import into Mint and categorize themselves, and all I have to do is kind of check through it, is a little bit easier than writing everything down. That being said, if I wanted to have a month where I really focused in on everything I was spending, writing down everything that you buy is definitely a good way to make that happen. So you're definitely going to be more aware of your spending if you are writing it down rather than just perusing it monthly. At the end of the month, you have a budget review page. You have space for your opening balance, your total income, your total expense, and the difference. So those kind of 4 things are the 4 things that I really track every month in my own financial tracking. So that's really helpful to have. And you have a line here for total savings, which I'm guessing is, if you add up all of your savings accounts and everything like that, what you could put there, and then balance forward, things like that. And there's also not specific space in here about like your retirement planning or retirement accounts like 401ks and things like that. Which would also potentially be helpful. I know that's probably not something, that's not something I track every month either. I track that on a more quarterly basis, but that's just maybe one thing that is potentially missing from here. And then you have space to do a spending analysis with a like predefined like circle curve so you can see how you're spending your money, and then a little question section to help you evaluate your month, your biggest wins. Did you meet your budget? Why or why not? Did you achieve your goals? What did you learn this month by tracking your expenses, and like actions for the next month. So a really helpful, like very similar to a regular goal setting set of review questions, but specifically targeted towards finances. Again, just looking at this, I think if financial planning and financial tracking is an area where you're really trying to make a lot of progress and change, this would be a really amazing tool. So I do really love this planner. I don't think it's something I necessarily need in my life right now, but I can really see the strengths of it, if that makes sense. So then you have a ideas and notes page, and then you get into the next month. So that then repeats 12 times, one for each month of the year. But again, this is undated, so you kind of can start it whenever you want. And then when you get to the very end, where I am looking to flip to right now, I think I'm almost there, you get to a savings tracker. So then there's some pages. There's no like marker there, but you could put, the one of your bookmarks. I would probably keep one bookmark on the current month if I was using this, and one bookmark to denote these like back pages. So once you get to the back of after your last month, you have this savings tracker. So this is a place where you can track like specific savings goals, like something if you're saving for a trip, if you're saving for retirement, if you're saving for whatever, and you can put in, the amount you want, the when it's due by, and then anytime you deposit into that. So this is really useful if you do this style of savings, but like keep it all in the same account. Like say you're saving for a trip and that's just going in your regular savings account, but you could say like, I need to save up $2,000 for this trip. And then every time you want to allocate your money. So you could kind of use this as a space to like break down a single savings account into different categories of savings. So you have 2 full pages of these saving trackers, or space to make 8 different savings trackers. Like if you were saving for 8 different things, you could put them all in there. And then after that, you get to this debt tracker, which looks the same as the savings tracker, except for it's intended to be for paying off balances and paying off debt. So it's the same thing. And again, you get more of them for this one. So you have 1, 2, 3. So 3 full pages. So 12 different slots for different debts. And each of these has 11 slots, which I think is interesting that it's not 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah. Okay. I've just counted this multiple times. Each of these has 11 slots, which is interesting that it's not 12 slots. You would think, because you're probably paying them down every month, that this should be 12 slots instead of 11 slots, but the savings ones were the same. So you have spots to mark 11 different things in each section. And then after that, you have this holiday little section, which it doesn't specifically say Christmas, but it has like a Christmas or birthday vibes, where you have a holiday budget for something, gifts, wrapping, groceries, decorations, and I guess it would work for any holiday or event. And then it's got a list of gifts and descriptions of them, and then holiday spending specifically. I don't think that this section particularly needs to be in here. I think you could just add that in to whichever month was your December or whatever month was your birthday month. But if you want to specifically track what you're spending on holidays and gifts, there is just a little page there to do it. And then you have space for a regular bill tracker. So the way that this works is you put in the months up at the top, and it does have 12 slots on this one, enough to go, you know, January through December, and then you put the bills going down. And this is helpful for, I've made bullet journal spreads that look like this before. This is helpful for if you have bills that don't have to get paid every month, as well as ones that get paid every month. So like when you only have to pay your property taxes like once a year, or something that only gets paid twice a year, like if you pay your car insurance twice a year, it's really helpful to know what months that those are coming up. So something like this is a really great way to visualize that, as well as your regular monthly expenses. And you could use like a color coding system to kind of denote which ones. You could put the amounts in, or you could just like color it in, whether it's every month or and honestly, if you colored it in with highlighters, then you could write the amounts like a month. So like if you write like car insurance here, and if you only pay your car insurance twice a year, then you could shade in the relevant months, and then once you have the bill, you could just put in the values there. So something cool like that. And then at the very back, you have a summary of the year. So similar to your monthly summary, except for the entire year. So you can put in your expenses in each of the categories for the 12 months of the year, your income and expenses for the 12 months of the year. I will say I have a spreadsheet that I built that looks almost identical to this. I don't do the category breakdown, but at least the top part. And it is really helpful to look over the course of the year and see, especially for me, because I work freelance, so my income does vary a lot throughout the year. It's really helpful to see like your income versus expenses for the entire year. And then at the back here, you do have some blank dot grid pages, just a handful of notes pages there, which you could use for anything else you need, and which I am going to use one in the back here to do a pen test. Okay, so for markers, I have Zebra Mild Liner, brush and regular in a lighter color and a dark color. I have two Zig Clean Color dot pens. One is a single and one is the dual-sided. Again, I picked a lighter color and a dark color. And then I have a Tombow in a darker color as well. And then for writing pens, I have two gel pens, my two favorite, the Sarasa Clips in a 0.5, which is a really fine tip, and a bolder tip, a Pigma Micron, which is a fine liner. And then I also have this Erin Condren stamping marker, which makes a black asterisk. I really like these markers, so I thought I would try them out in here as well. So I am just going to do the pen test, and then I will wrap it up. I will also stick down one of the stickers on the paper that came with it and pull that back up, because you know that's something I like to do in a pen test. Okay, so I want to say that this paper it wrote on really smooth, and you can also tell from the way that the dot markers went down that it has a little bit of a coating on it, which hopefully means we don't see much bleed through on the other side, because the ink from the dot markers did sit on the top for a minute. I did make sure to do a double pass of the highlighter, and then I did a smaller dot and a larger dot where I pressed down really super hard. So there is potentially, definitely heavy ghosting, potentially the teensiest bit of bleed through just on the dot markers on the harder press. Everything else is just a faint shadow to nothing. So I'm really happy with this paper. Again, this planner was only $10, or is only $10. So that is pretty high quality paper for that price point. And I didn't feel like it was tearing up my pens or anything either. So I am pretty impressed with that. And then I'm just gonna pull that sticker off, and it did actually pull off really, really nicely as well. So in general, I actually like the way the paper feels as well. It's got a nice tooth to it. It's not too smooth or anything like that. This paper is nice enough that if I were looking at for like a really small planner, the similar to the Undated style that they have in their weekly planner, I would actually potentially even look at that. Just for the price, the paper does feel really nice quality. So that is the JUBTIC budgeting planner. I do want to thank JUBTIC for sending me this planner. I'm so happy I got to take a look at this and review it for you. Let me know in the comments down below if you do paper planning for your budgeting and financing finances? And if so, does this look like something that you would potentially use? I think that this has got a lot of really awesome potential and would make a really great addition to a planner lineup. And I do love that it is such an affordable price for such a specialized project. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I'd love it if you'd subscribe, and don't forget to check me out on Instagram at mycraftyplans to keep up with everything going on in my planners. Bye.